Narayanam namaskritya Naram chaiva narottamam Devim saraswatim vyasam Tato jayante Nashtaprayeshu bhadreshu Nityam bhagavata sevaya Bhagavate uttama shloke Bhaktir bhavati naistiki Om jnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana shalakaya Militam yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatham Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastete Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Suti Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Vistaya Bhutale Prabhupada Priya Shri Girirajaya Swamini Subhaktra Radharas Biharibhyam Bhaktibhyas Chatmadayini Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Vistaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Namini Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravan Pacharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschacharya Shatarine Mukham Karoti Vachalam Panghum Langayate Girim Yat Kripa Tamaham Vande Shri Gurudena Tarinam Hare Krishna. Okay. Alright, so we are studying Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 5, Chapter 1, Text 23. No, 28. So this is a description of how King Priyavrata, he enters household life, and he had his children. So he had 3 children who became Paramahamsa. And sorry? Yeah, okay. Seven. So, text 28. Ananyasyam api jayayam traya putra asan uttamastamasau vraivattaiti manvantaradhipatayah. And his other wife, Maharaj Priyavrat, begot 3 sons named Uttama, Tamas, and Raivat. All of them later took charge of Manvantar millenniums. So, meaning these are Prajapatis, and They are, they are the Manvantar. They're in charge, the ruler, the king actually, the king. In every day of Brahma, there are 14 Manvantaras. The duration of one Manvantara, the lifespan of one Manu is 71 yugas. And each yuga is 4,320,000 years. Yeah. Almost all the Manus selected to rule the Manvantaras came from the family of Maharaj Priyavrat. 3 of them are particularly mentioned herein, namely Uttama, Tamasa and Raivat. They are the emperors actually. I'm not sure whether I said Prajapati, but actually they are the rulers. So remember that how, everything is very systematically organized. I think by now, all of us are 100% aware that, material creation is not going on automatically, right? We're just, as ignorant as a cat and a dog who doesn't know how life is going on. So here now, as human beings, right, descendants of Manu, right, we are aware that things are not going on automatically. There is rulership going on. So who are the rulers of this universe? This is what's being described here. So meaning that when Brahma appears, so as soon as he comes, immediately there is the whole universal management setup. All right? So first thing that he did, he created the living beings. Right? He is himself the first created being, and then he created all the different species and put them in different places. He created also, he's the architect and engineer of the whole creation, right? It was just plain, just like you create a house. So similarly, Lord Brahma, he created the different planetary systems, and he placed different living beings in different places, right? Then it's ruling over all these people now. Entities, not only humans, but here, this is the rulership of the humans, all right? These Manus, human meaning that not only those human beings, but all those who have human forms. All right, let's try to read this long, super long, but it's for our purification. Let's try to read this shlok. Evam upashamaya yaneshu swatanayeshvatha jagati patir jagatim arbuddhanyeka dasha parivatsaranam avyahatakkhila purushakarasara sambrita dornanda yugala pidita morvi gunastanita viramita dharma pratipaksho barhishmatyas chanudinam edhamano pramoda prasarana yoshniya brida pramusita hasavalolka ruchirakshevyadibhi parabhyuyamana viveka ivana vabhudyamana iva mahamana bubhuje. All right.
Hare Krishna. Translation. After Kavi, Mahavira and Savana were completely trained in the Paramhansa stage of life, Maharaj Priyavrata ruled the universe for 11 arbudas of years. Whenever he was determined to fix his arrow upon his bowstring with his 2 powerful arms, all opponents of the regulative principles of religious life would flee from his presence in fear of the unparalleled prowess he displayed in ruling the universe. He greatly loved his wife Brahishmati and with the increase of days, their exchange of nuptial love also increased. By her feminine behavior, as she dressed herself, walked, got up, smiled, laughed, and glanced about, Queen Brahishmati increased his energy. Thus, although he was a great soul, he appeared lost in the feminine conduct of his wife. He behaved with her just like an ordinary man, but actually he was a great soul. Purport. In this verse, the word dharma pratipakshah, opponents of religious principles, refers not only to a particular faith, but to Varnashram Dharma, the divisions of society socially and spiritually into the 4 Varnas, Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya and Shudra, and 4 ashrams, Brahmacharya, Grahastha, Vanprastha and Sannyas, to maintain proper social order and help the citizens gradually progress towards the goal of life, namely spiritual understanding. The principles of Varnashram Dharma must be accepted. From this verse, Maharaj Priyavrat appears to have been so strict in maintaining this institution of Varnashram Dharma that anyone neglecting it would immediately flee from his presence as soon as the king warned him by fighting or administering light punishment. Indeed, Maharaj Priyavrata would not have to fight, for simply because of his strong determination, they dare not disobey the rules and regulation of Varnashram Dharma. It is said that unless human society is regulated by Varnashram Dharma, it is no better than a bestial society of cats and dogs. Maharaj Priyavrata therefore strictly maintained Varnashram Dharma by his extraordinary, unparalleled prowess. To maintain such a life of strict vigilance, one needs encouragement from his wife. In the Varnashram Dharma system, certain class such as the Brahmanas and Sannyasis do not need encouragement from the opposite sex. Kshatriyas and Grahasthas, however, actually need the encouragement of their wives in order to execute their duties. Indeed, a Grahastha or Kshatriya cannot properly execute his responsibilities without the association of his wife. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu personally admitted that a Grahastha must live with a wife. Kshatriyas were even allowed to have many wives to encourage them in discharging the duties of government. The association of good wife is necessary in life of karma and political affairs. To execute his duties properly, therefore, Maharaj Priyavrat took advantage of his good wife Brahishmati, who was always very expert in pleasing her great husband by properly dressing herself, smiling, and exhibiting her feminine bodily features. Queen Brahishmati always kept Maharaj Priyavrat very encouraged, and thus he executed his governmental duties very properly. In this verse, Eva has twice been used to indicate that Maharaj Priyavrat acted exactly like her henpecked husband and thereby seems to have lost his sense of human responsibility. Actually, however, he was fully conscious of his position as a spirit soul. Although he seemingly behaved like an acquiescent karmi husband, Maharaj Priyavrat has ruled the universe for 11 arbudas of years. One arbuda consists of 100, 1, 2, 3, 10, 3, 4, 5, 100, 3, 4, 5. This is 1,000 lakhs, which is what? Which is 10 crore. 1,000. This is 1,000 lakhs. 100 crore is 1 lakh. No. 100 lakh is 1 crore. So 100 lakh is 1 crore. So this is 1,000 lakhs. Yes. So 1 crore, 10 crore, 100 crores. 1.
It's written in Hindi here. 10 करोड़ वर्ष के तुल्य होता है. 1 अर्बुद 10 करोड़ वर्ष के तुल्य होता है. In Hindi it is written.
So 11 arbudas. तो हुआ ना 100. 10 crore.
100 आप बोल रहे हो, 100 भी 10 चलो ठीक है, वेरी लॉन्ग.
And Maharaj Priyavrat ruled the universe for 11 such arbudas.
A very long time, all right. Encouraged by his wife. We're not able to say the figures. All right. So, a lot of contrast in this one description, right? A lot of contrast. First thing is that Maharaj Priyavrat, where he couldn't do, right? Remember, he had to remove himself from the practice of Paramahamsa life. Now he got 3 sons. And he fully trained them. So he saw those boys who want to practice the life of Paramahamsa. So he fully encouraged them. All right? I guess parents are like this. What I couldn't do, I let my children do, right? So he encouraged these 3 boys to be completely trained in the Paramahamsa stage of life. All right? And then he himself, what did he do? He ruled, okay? He ruled the kingdom, the universe. The kingdom is the universe for 11 arbudas of years. And how was he ruling? How was he ruling? With powerful arms. For what? Against what? Against what? Yeah. Yeah, against adharma. All right, against adharma. His rulership was against adharma. So he was defeating all opponents of the regulative principles of religious life. So meaning that there was no adharma in his kingdom. All right, when he ruled, there was no adharma at all. Everybody had to follow the principles of religious life. You know, like today we just heard Prabhupada speaking about how, you know, the blind is leading the blind. You know, so he spoke of 2 things. He gave 2 examples. He said that we have invented, he said, in this Kali Yuga now, people have discovered 2 wonderful things. One is a motorcar and the other is computer. He said before, life was, you have the bullock carts. So if you want to move from one place to the next, you use the bullock carts. But when you invented the motor car, there's no more need of what? Bullock carts or what? Bulls. Yeah. All right. And this bull is an animal who's living. All right. So he said, then what do you do with them? There are so many hundreds and thousands and millions of bulls. They have become useless. So he said, then what do you do with the bulls? Then he said, I mean, we were all shocked that wasn't down in the temple room, you know. Then you kill them. What do you do? Overpopulation, right, of bulls. They have become useless, so therefore you kill them. And what do you do when you kill them? Then he said, you eat them. This is how in the world now people are eating beef. Because, remember, that reminds me actually of Gautam Buddha, right? How those so-called Brahmanas, they were doing those sacrifices and all the bulls, the cows were dying. So finally these Brahmanas became meat eaters. So right here we are seeing. So Prabhupada said, did you even think of that? Bullock cart means no, bulls become useless. We only think of bullock cart, the machine, right? The cart. But there behind that bullock cart, in front of the bullock cart is the bull. The bull becomes useless. You know, you can't even teach this to children, right? How will you teach something so heartless to children? That what's happening, they keep on shouting, environment, pollution, this. Look at the cow, the bull has become useless. So you kill them, and then what do? So therefore, huge slaughterhouses, because they're loitering everywhere. You don't know where to put them, what to do with them. You have to feed them, right? So you kill them. Then Prabhupada says, and therefore the subtle laws of nature, such mass slaughter of bulls. So therefore there is the subtle laws of nature. There always was, because you have to be killed also. Right? Then he said another thing, the wonderful discovery of this age, computers. So he said the computer does the work of so many people. Therefore, what happens? The implication is
less number of jobs.
Unemployment. Then he says, so now the government has another burden. Now he cannot kill all these people, right? They can kill the bulls, right? So they're not going to murder all those human beings, right? So we don't have jobs for you, right? So what happens? Then he said, then the government has to come up with some policy. Then, okay, I don't know whether in India it applies or not. But outside India, then what happened? Welfare subsidy. All right? You don't have a job, so the government give you a welfare subsidy. And then he says, and from where does this welfare subsidy come from? Not from the government's pocket, from your pocket. From your pocket. Meaning the tax that you're paying, actually, instead of employing somebody in your house, 10 people, you give everybody small amount, and they're able to live. You give lump sum to the government to distribute to people who are sitting idle, doing nothing. Right? You're feeding people, right? You're feeding people who are sitting idle. They become lazy. These people will never work. If they have sufficient to live without work, they will never work. And therefore, you get a world of lazy people, of opportunists and criminals. What will they do? Idle mind, devil's workshop. Right, so Prabhupada says this is how you get entangled. You know, you create you discover one thing, you create another huge problem, and you don't know what to do with it. So Prabhupada is saying, blind leading the blind. All right. So here, Maharaj Priyavrata. So he was making sure that the laws of dharma is being followed, and specifically, Prabhupada says about the rules and regulation of Varnashram Dharma. Alright, the rules and regulation of Varnashram Dharma. This is what he was protecting. And in Varnashram Dharma, protection of the cows is very important. Right? Anyway, I can't get into another discussion. You know, this Varnashram Dharma, meaning the cow protection and the whole upside down of this society. You know, like yesterday I was on the roof, and it was a bright moon, so it's quite rare to see a bright moon, So tomorrow is Chaturdashi, so I guess yesterday was Trayodashi, and then tomorrow, other day is going to Purnima, so the light was quite bright, and so many stars were visible. So I started looking, and suddenly I found something is moving. I said, this is not a star. What is it? What was it? Airplane, yeah. All right, airplane. Right. The airport is just nearby. And I was fascinated, look. And then suddenly I found another popping up. And then I said another. I thought, my God, one after the other. It was like, your road, right? One after the other, the planes of crossing each other, going. So, wow, population of airplanes, right? What does that mean, population of airplanes? It means you go to work by airplane, right?
The runway, the Bombay runway is so busy, my God.
Hmm?
Board the plane.
Right.
You're sitting there.
Thank you.
So what am I saying? That you go to work by airplane. What does that mean for you?
No exercise.
No exercise, no life. You go to work morning, you catch the airplane morning, you come back evening by airplane, right? Where's your family life? Right? You're all the time in the air. Anyway, so this is the creation of modern society. So Maharaj Priyavrat therefore strictly, it is said that unless human society is regulated by Varnashram Dharma, it is no better than a bestial society of cats and dogs. Of course, when I saw all those airplanes, then I started thinking of the Viman. You know, we have read so much about the Viman from the heavenly planets, Ravan's Viman. So here we have created our own airplanes, right? And creating so much pollution everywhere, messing up everybody's life. Yeah, you know, because I'll just give you a simple example. I never even thought about it until I came to India. Somebody comes and say, oh, I've come to attend a wedding. I thought, what? You came to attend a wedding? But how? So you flew by plane, right? Whole families flew by airplane to come to attend a wedding in Bombay. Sorry, you know, I'm from a small island. It doesn't really click in my mind that anybody could fly an airplane, entire retinue, to come and get married from one city to the next. What does it also mean for you? What does it also mean for you in your social life? It means that most probably you don't know who you're getting married to, right? And that's why so much havoc in the families, right? Because how would people get married? You will get married from people who you know, right? So this is something new. I'm telling you how the culture shock of living in Bombay was for me. You don't even know the person. Shadi.com, right? Whereas marriages will happen with known people. Isn't it? Right? In the next village or country, whatever it is. So everybody knows who the person is, and the person dare not do anything funny, right? Dare not do, because the entire village is looking at you, right? So everybody had to follow the norms of Varnashram Dharma. So the more we create, interesting discoveries, the more we mess up and create havoc in the lives of people.
Like AI, Mataji, now. See how many more problems are going to be
this AI,
artificial intelligence, the havoc it's going to create is unimaginable.
Actually, there's later.
Another stage.
Later.
AI second stage.
Yeah, later there is a story of Hayashirsha. Avatar Hayashirsha, Hayagriva. So this avatar, he comes when the Vedas are stolen by a demon, and he takes it to Rasatal Lok. Alright? So demons, what they do, they study the Vedas and they remove what is appropriate for them, and they create everything that is Maya, right? And then the Vedic knowledge is completely gone.
When?
the Vedas they disappear completely. Like right now, the Vedas are going away, right? People don't know what Bhagavad Gita. Thanks to Prabhupada, that we are having knowledge of Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam, right? Otherwise, nobody knows, right? So therefore, the competition now, this small group of people who somehow or other gets to know about the Vedas, small group of people, right? Only tiny fraction. But the majority, what are they doing? They are just pulling out information from where? From where? It's not from anywhere. They're actually pulling out from the Vedas itself. I remember in 3rd Canto, Prabhupada wrote that there is a form in ether. And Prabhupada said the scientists haven't discovered it yet. Someday they will discover it. Now they have discovered it. Right? WhatsApp, Facebook, YouTube. Alright? All those direct relay. So, because their mind is only absorbed in that. Instead of thinking how to become free from the cycle of birth and death, right? They're only thinking how can we exploit material nature. So they are exploring the 5 elements. And they are discovering so many things. And they're creating wonders exactly like Ravan and Hiranyakashipu. Exactly. Right? So, Maharaj Priyavrata, because I just heard that from Prabhupada, so that's why I'm speaking about it. Huh? So the 2 powerful arms of Maharaj Priyavrata make sure that everybody is following Varnashram Dharma. So then, to maintain such a life of strict vigilance, one needs encouragement from his wife. All right. So they say that unless there is a good wife, a man cannot work. I remember one devotee told me, unless your wife is with you, you can't work. If your wife is not there, there is no impetus to work. Right? So here, this fact is being given here. So in Varnashram system, so all right, Brahmanas and Sannyasis do not need a wife, right? They are. Where did we read that? Urdhva Retasa, right? Somewhere, right? Nashtiki Brahmachari, right? Right. So for them, they have that power. So their memories are very, very strong. And they are able to connect with the beyond this world, right? So this is their power. So retainment of this semen. So therefore, they don't require the opposite sex. But Kshatriyas and Grihasthas, however, actually need the encouragement of their wives in order to execute their duties. Indeed, a Grihastha or Kshatriya cannot properly execute his responsibilities without the association of his wife. So Prabhupada said that. So that's why the woman was so well trained, because the woman is most valuable in the life of a man. All right? Sometimes, we see everything from the woman's side, right? We only look how we want the man to be, right? See, we are among women, so all the time we speak about how we want the man to be, right? We want him to have powerful arms, right? To protect. But here the woman is also very valuable, most valuable for a Grihastha, right? So what is her value is here. She has to encourage him to tread the path of Dharma. Yes. She has to protect him, that he doesn't lose his energy while executing his work. See now, because people are engaged in Ugra Karma, so therefore we can't understand this. But when men engage in actual duties of varnashram, like the Kshatriyas, do you think the wives of the Kshatriyas, do you think they're small women?
Chanakya, while guiding his king, Chandragupta Maurya, he told Chandragupta to write the names of the people who should be rewarded handsomely as his advisor. He wrote all important names. Chanakya read and said, two important women are missing here. He said, I don't have any women as advisors. He said, your Patarani, to whom you go every day, your mother, before starting your kingly duties, you take blessings from her. They are your two main advisors. So write their names. They should also be rewarded handsomely like all other kingsmen.
Yeah, so here this is confirmed here, right? So because Shakti, but how does it say in Sanskrit? Yeah, so Barhishmatya of his wife Barhishmati Cha and Anudinam daily idhamana, increasing pramoda, pleasing intercourse, prasarana, amiability, yoshinya, feminine behavior, vriddha, by shyness, pramusita, held back, hasa, laughing, avaloka, glancing, ruchira, pleasing, Shreveli Adhibhi, by exchanges of loving propensities, Parabhuyamana, being defeated, Viveka, his true knowledge. Anyway, his energy, Prabhupada says he's getting his energy from his wife. Right? Yeah, here it is. Queen Barhishmati increased his energy, his capacity to do that work. So I was saying that these wives of the Kshatriyas, meaning the men who go out to protect a country, they are not ordinary women, right? Why? Reason number one, why are they not ordinary women?
They're internally strong. They knew that once their husband goes, they will not come.
Yeah. Yes. These women are prepared to become widows.
Sati.
All right? These women are prepared to become widows. And even a son, right? A son who says, I want to join the army. These are not ordinary mothers. All right? Because the mother knows one day my son may not come back. All right? So therefore, how valuable the training of women are. Right? So why is it that they're able to do such a sacrifice? Otherwise, the woman will always be pestering the husband, change your job, right? What about me? What about the children, right? Why the women are able to do this?
Does it belong to that Kshatriya lineage and their thought from beginning of to be very brave and to encourage to...
just read from this one verse. Yeah. Because they were trained in the dharma. What is that dharma?
Follow the instruction of Vedas.
Yeah, but what's the use of following the Veda who tell you go and die?
No, so that
You know, remember, this is straight from Bhagavad Gita now. See, if you haven't understood Bhagavad Gita, you can't understand Bhagavatam.
Like dharma of fire is heat.
No, what are they learning in that dharma? What are they learning?
to execute the duties.
What?
Discharging the duties.
That's all?
To become Krishna conscious.
Yeah. Yes. What is that Krishna conscious?
Krishna conscious means to follow.
Yes.
To serve, I mean to lead your life in such a way that you have a spiritual focus at the end of the day.
So what's that? What will happen? Sorry? Because they know when the husband dies, and if I die at the end of my life, I'm going to have a higher destination. They are convinced, 100% convinced that I'm not the body, I'm soul. And the body may die, I do not die. They are 100% convinced about this. It may have become distorted now with the age of Kali. People think I'm just going to die for the country. But that's not a Kshatriya who goes and dies for the country. A Kshatriya is somebody who prevents you from, Prabhupada said, khatra, from dangers. Alright? From dangers. So he knows that if he protects somebody from danger, he will get a higher destination. It's not just somebody who's a martyr, who says, okay, shoot me for the sake of my country. No. He's not working for the country, he's working for Krishna. Please, everybody, go and study Bhagavad Gita thoroughly. You need to understand Bhagavad Gita. If you are not able to answer a basic question of what is the duty of a Kshatriya, why we are Kshatriyas, what are the Chatranis, you've forgotten Draupadi. How she behaved, how she reacted, right? She's the classic example of what is a Chatrani. Right? We come so far, we can't forget. Alright, the association of a good wife is necessary in a life of karma and political affairs. To execute his duties properly, therefore, Maharaj Priyavrat took advantage of his good wife Barhishmati, who was always very expert in pleasing her great husband. Okay? So, two things he has said. She's a good wife, alright? She's a good wife to who? Please read. She's a good wife to who? What type of husband?
The one who follows the path of Dharma.
Prabhupada has used one qualification for that husband. No, what did he say? I'm just reading the line.
Discharge his duty.
Great husband. Why should you be a good wife to a low-class husband? Right? You are a good wife to a great husband. Right? Right? You have to be equal. So that's why, right? That's why you saw how Devahuti and Kardama Muni, how they got married. Right? All criteria was taken, how to match them. If the husband is great and he was completely pauper, right? He was a Muni in the forest, he had nothing. Right? And Devahuti, who was Devahuti? Daughter of who?
The princess.
Just a princess? Emperor of the whole world. Right? And where did she go to live?
In the hut.
In the hut, in the cottage. Right? Why was she able to do this?
Because the husband was very talented, great husband.
He was a great husband.
Meaning the girl also is great. Right? Meaning the girl also could appreciate the good qualities of Kardama Muni, because the Brahmana spoke about Kardama Muni, what type of person he is. Another girl will say, why should I go? Real story I'm telling you. A husband who gives half his money to the temple. Real story I'm telling you. No, I don't want to marry such a person. He gives half his salary to the temple. How will I live? Right? So Devahuti, who was wife, a daughter of the, emperor of the entire universe, right? He said, my future husband is living in a cottage, but the Brahmanas related his good qualities. And she fixed her mind on Kardama Muni, right? And what was the outcome of this?
She got a son
Kapil
Kapil and she got fearlessness in the end by being a...
That's all a woman wants.
She got a great husband, Mataji.
No, and then he also, Kardama Muni also looking at her dedication, gave
Such a
her
big
what
castle
she
in the
truly
air and-
desired.
Yeah.
Wealth, opulence,
And a castle
beautiful
there,
bodily
everything.
features,
Yeah.
castle in the air,
Yeah.
or aeroplane,
Maids,
roaming,
maids,
maids.
fountains, everything. The works, Mataji. She got the works and beauty, everything. She was so emancipated because serving Kardama Muni, nothing else.
Yeah. Right.
Skeleton.
So these munis, they have mystic power. Alright. So when the woman, right, she's attracted by the good qualities of a man, you don't know what good fortune she may get. So Devahuti is such an example. Right? She didn't hesitate. Because it's such a, I don't know how to call it, bhagya, Yeah, the bhagya, yeah, So this girl, if she was measuring in an external way, she will not jump for it, right? So because there was an internal connection, right? She could appreciate his qualities. So she took the jump, right? Then she got not only spiritually, but she got materially also. She was rewarded materially, so she was not left with nothing.
For the religious service.
Yeah, so to execute his duties properly, therefore Maharaj Priyavrat took advantage of his good wife, Varhishmati, who was always very expert. And so again, learning. The woman has to learn how to be expert in family affairs, right? It's not a small thing. You don't know how to live in a family. You don't know how to behave, right? What to say to who, right? When to speak and when to keep quiet, right? Right? That we learn from Sita Devi, from Draupadi. They know when to open their mouth, right? Or did they always live, Right? No, they opened their mouth when it was required, yeah. Right? And nobody blamed them for it. Right? So very expert in everything. Anyway, this is training for household life. Text 30. Yavadava bhashayati suragirim anuparikramaman bhagavan adityo वसुधातलम् अर्धेनैव प्रतपत्यार्धयाना वच्छादयाति तदा हि भगवत् उपासनोपचिताति पुरुषः प्रभावस्तद् अनाभिनन्दन् समाजत्वेन रथेन ज्योतिर्मयेन रजनीम् अपि दिनं कर्हिष्यामीति सप्त कृत्वस्तराणीम् अनुपर्याक्रमात् द्वितीया इव पतङ्गः. All right, Shikala.
Hare Krishna. While so excellently ruling the universe, King Priyavrat once became dissatisfied with the circumambulation of the most powerful sun god. Encircling Sumeru hill on his chariot, the sun god illuminates all the surrounding planetary systems. However, when the sun is on the northern side of the hill, the south receives less light, and when the sun is in the south, the north receives less. King Priyavrat disliked this situation and therefore decided to make daylight in the part of the universe where there was night. He followed the orbit of the sun god on a brilliant chariot and thus fulfilled his desire. He could perform such wonderful activities because of the power he had achieved by worshipping the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Purport. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. There is a Bengali saying which describes that someone is so powerful that he can make the night day and the day night. That saying is current because of the prowess of Priyavrata. His activities demonstrate how powerful he became by worshipping the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Lord Krishna is known as Yogeshwar, the master of all mystic powers. In Bhagavad Gita 18.78, it is said, wherever there is the master of all mystic powers, Yatra Yogeshwara Krishna, victory, fortune, and all other opulences are present. Devotional service is so powerful. When a devotee achieves what he wants to accomplish, it is not by his own mystic power, but by the grace of the Master of Mystic Power, Lord Krishna. By his grace, a devotee can accomplish wonderful things unimaginable even to the most powerful scientists. From the description in this verse, it appears that the sun moves. According to modern astronomers, the sun is fixed in one place, surrounded by the solar system. But here we find that the sun is not stationary. It is rotating in a prescribed orbit. This fact is corroborated by Brahma Samhita 5.52. Yasya Brahmati Samvrita Kala Chakro. Yasya Gaya Brahmati Samvrita Kala Chakraha. The sun is rotating in its fixed orbit in accordance with the order of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. According to Jyotir Veda, the science of astronomy in Vedic literature, the sun moves for 6 months on the northern side of the Sumeru hill and for 6 months on the southern side. We have practical experience on this planet that when there is summer in the north, there is winter in the south, and vice versa. Modern materialistic scientists sometimes present themselves as knowing all the ingredients of the sun, yet they are unable to offer a second sun like Maharaja Priyavratas. Although Maharaja Priyavrat devised a very powerful chariot as brilliant as the sun, he had no desire to compete with the sun god, for a Vaishnava never wants to supersede another Vaishnava. His purpose was to give abundant benefits in material existence. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur remarks that in the months of April and May, the rays of Maharaj Priyavrat's brilliant sun were as pleasing as the rays of the moon, and in October and November, both morning and evening, that sun provided more warmth than the sunshine. In short, Maharaja Priyavrat was extremely powerful, and his actions extended his power in all directions. Hare Krishna.
So this is very good for our airplane. Remember, we were speaking of airplane and computers and motor cars, right? So it doesn't mean that the devotees cannot create something extraordinary, right? But when he creates something extraordinary, devotees, Vaishnavas, they create something that is beneficial for the world. Right? They also have power. They're not fools. If you become a devotee sadhu now, you can see a sadhu is a Kshatriya, right? He's taken up the role of Kshatriya. He's so powerful. Can you imagine he was sitting on the mountains doing jap there? Meditation on Vishnu. Here comes out in the world. He creates another sun. Right? So April, May looks like this is Maharaj Priyavrat's. That's his sun that is like giving the making it less hot actually. And October, November is so cold. Then there is warmth from the sun of Maharaj Priyavrat. Alright. So this is the point here that Vaishnavas also can create wonderful things, but they never create such a thing that it creates a disturbance in the lives of people. Whereas the Asuras, we've read from which chapter of Bhagavad Gita? What do Asuras do? Which chapter? Yes? 16, yes. What do we read there from chapter 16? They don't know what is to be done, what is not to be done. They only create things that create destruction in the world. Alright, so it's not like Lord Brahma, he creates, right? Lord Brahma, he's creating. Now, King Priyavrata, he's also creating, but he's creating for the benefit of the world. Alright. And everybody wants to create something in your kitchen, you create something. Right? Everybody wants to create something, right? Right? So you use your creative brain, right? Not to create an explosive. Right? If you don't engage these kids in constructing work, these kids will try to do the bombs, right? No joke. We actually play and try to create the bombs.
One's energy should be channelized in positive.
Yes.
Otherwise, they lose their energy in the negative.
Yes, so therefore you need proper teachers and vigilance of parents. Right? Vigilance of parents that they are not going in the wrong direction and that they are having good, proper teachers, guides. Text 31. Yeva uha tadratha charana nemikrita parikkhataste sapta sindhava asanyata eva krita sapta bhuvo dvipaha. When Priyavrata drove his chariot behind the sun, the rims of his chariot wheels created impressions that later became 7 oceans, dividing the planetary system known as Bhumandala into 7 islands. Alright. Geography is happening here. Right? Sometimes the planets in outer space are called islands. We have experience of various types of islands in the ocean, and similarly the various planets divided into 14 locals or islands in the ocean of space. As Priyavrata drove his chariot behind the sun, he created 7 different types of oceans and planetary systems, which altogether are known as Bhumandala or Bhuloka. In the Gayatri mantra, we chant Om Bhurbhuva Swaha Tat Savitur Varenyam. Above the Bhulok planetary system is Bhuvarlok, and above that is Swargalok, the heavenly planetary system. All these planetary systems are controlled by Savita, the sun god. By chanting the Gayatri mantra just after rising early in the morning, one worships the sun god. 32.
Gayatri mantra is of sun god mantra. So this,
Yeah.
half of it is this, no Om Bhuva Swaha Tat Savitur Varenyam.
Yeah, one worships the sun god, but finally it is Narayan who's controlling the sun. Jambu Plaksha Shalmali Kusha Kroncha Shaka Pushkara Samyaste Sham Parimanam Purvasmad Uttaro Yatha Shankyam Dvi Gunamanena Bahi Samantata Upakliptaha. The names of the islands are Jambu, Plaksha, Shalmali, Kush, Kronch, Shak and Pushkar. Each island is twice as large as the one preceding it, and each is surrounded by a liquid substance beyond which is the next island. Purport. The ocean in each planetary system has a different type of liquid. How they are situated is explained in the next verse. Next 33. Sharo dikshu rasodo suroda gritoda shiroda dadhimanduda shudhodaha sapta jaladhaya sapta dvipa parikha iva bhayantara dvipa samana ekaikashena yathanupurvam saptasvapi bahir dvipeshu pritak parita Pakalpitasteshu jambhavadishu barhishmati patir anuvratat natmajan agni dred majha jiva yagya bahu hiranya reto grita prishta medhati tithi vihithotra samgyan yatha sankhyenaikaikashmanin ekam eva dhipatim vidadhe. The 7 oceans, respectively contain salt water, sugarcane juice, salt water, this is ours, right? Sugarcane juice, so don't be surprised, say, oh, how come sugarcane juice, how come salt? Right? How can you, right? We can ask the same question, how come salt? Sugarcane juice, liquor, clarified butter, milk, emulsified yogurt, and sweet drinking water. All the islands are completely surrounded by these oceans, and each ocean is equal in breadth to the island it surrounds. Maharaj Priyavrata, the husband of Queen Barhishmati, gained sovereignty over these islands to his respective sons, namely Agnidra, Idma Jiva, Yagyabahu, Hiranyareta, Grita Prishtha, Medha Tithi, and Vitihotra. Thus, they all became kings by the order of their father. Purport. It is to be understood that all the dvipas or islands are surrounded by different types of oceans. And it is said herein that the breadth of each ocean is the same as that of the island it surrounds. The length of the oceans, however, cannot equal the length of the islands. According to Viraraghava Acharya, the breadth of the first island is 100,000 yojanas. 1 yojana equals 8 miles, and therefore the breadth of the first island is calculated to be 800,000 miles. The water surrounding it must have the same breadth. but its length must be different. Okay, meaning everything is measured, right? Geometry, right? Not by accident suddenly, something has a, nothing haphazard. 34. Duhitaram chochasvatim namoshasna se prayachat yaschan asid devayan nama kavyasuta. King Priyavrata then gave his daughter Urjaswati in marriage to Shukracharya, who begot in her a daughter named Devayani. She's very famous, right? Devayani. That's you. Huh?
Devayani is it your name or first name?
Devayani is my name. Devayani is my first name.
Text 35. Naivam vidha purushakara urukramasya Pumsam tadangri rajasa jita sadgunanam Chitram vidura vigata sakrit adalita Yannam midheyam anudhuna sajjahati bandham. My dear king, a devotee who has taken shelter of the dust from the lotus feet of the Lord can transcend the influence of hunger, thirst, lamentation, illusion, old age and death. These are the 6 material whips.
How conquer the death?
Sorry?
How you conquer old age and death?
By hearing Bhagavatam. Yeah, by hearing Bhagavatam. My dear king, a devotee who has taken shelter of the dust from the lotus feet of the Lord can transcend the influence of the 6 material